Hi, Chelsea. Mrs. Doman back. All right, you guys, today we're going to be working on Module 6, Lesson 7. And today I'm going to go through the problem set to give you a better idea and a little bit more support. That way you can kind of get through the homework part independently. But as always, please address myself, Ms. Doman, or Ms. Bakke with any questions, as we are always here to help. Okay, so let's start off with number 1A. So the question asks, write a decimal number sentence to identify the total value of the place value discs. Okay, so as I'm looking at number A, I have 2 tens. Now I know that when I look at the discs and I add those together, I'm gonna look at, I have 2 tens, 10 plus 10. So 2 tens is 20, okay? Now I'm getting to the right side of the decimal. So that's the tenths and the hundredths. So I look at the digit to the right and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just as it says here. So it's going to be 0.5 or 5 tenths. Now here, I'm going to write 300ths. And again, the discs are for the visual, so you can see where hundredths is in the place value to the right of the decimal. So again, the 5 tenths is the first digit, the hundredths is the second digit. So 300ths then would be 0.03. Now, when I combine all of those numbers together, you'll see left side of the decimal, right side of the decimal. So I have 20.53 or 20 and 53 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do letter B on your own. You are going to follow the same exact concept as I did for letter A. Okay, and before we move down, just going to clear my screen. Okay, so for the second part, we are going to be using the place value chart to answer our questions. I'm going to go ahead and start with letter A. So it says the digit blank is in the hundreds place. Okay, so I see here it says hundreds place. So all I'm going to do is use my chart, find where it says hundreds, here it is, and see what digit it is. I see that it's a 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write the digit 4 is in the hundreds place, and it has a value of 400. And how I got that answer is I looked in the hundreds box, and be careful not to go in the hundredths box. I just went to the hundreds box. I saw that it had a 4 in it, and that represents 400. All right, let's look at B. The digit is in the tens place. Okay, so I'm going to look at the tens place, and I have a 1. So put a 1 there. And what is the value of 1 in the 10? Well, it's a 10. So I have 110. Okay. Letter C, the digit blank is in the tenths place. So be careful with this. This one's the tenths place. So now I'm over to the right side of the decimal. And I have an 8 in the tens place. And I'm going to go ahead and just write 8 tenths. Okay, and letter D, the digit blank is in the hundreds place. And that is a 3. As I see right here, this is hundredths. I'm going to go ahead and I'll move that out of the way. You have a 3. I'm going to put my 3 in this box, and I'm going to follow the same procedure. 300ths. So for these letters, you're really just utilizing your place value chart and writing the number that's in the box and the word that's in the box. Now, if you are struggling with how to spell the word, do not fret. They are written right up here or even in the problem. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear that. And we are going to move down. Now, for E through H, you have another set of place value of 532 and 1600ths. For that one, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to do that one. And if you have any questions, again, reach out to me, Mrs. Doman, or Mrs. Bakke. All right, for the next example, I'm going to go ahead and do number 3, okay? And for this one, it's a little bit longer. We are given a decimal. We need to write it in the fraction form, and then we need to write it in both expansion form of the fraction notation and the decimal notation. So the first one is done for you, and you can absolutely use that as a reference, but I'm also going to walk you through one more so you kind of understand the reasoning maybe a little bit better. Okay, so for the first one, I have 21.4. Now again, this 21 is on the left side of the decimal, so that's a whole number. Go ahead and write my big 21 there. That 4 is representing 4 tenths, right? A part. You gotta keep in mind, this is just a part. It's not a whole because it's on that right side of the decimal. All right, so the first thing I need to do is expand this to get 21. So we like to use the base 10. I'm going to go ahead and start with 2 times 10 equals 20. Now I need to get what times 1 is going to give me 1. Well, 1, of course. So I can go ahead and add that. 1 times 1. And then for my last one, I need to get 4 tenths. Now what I can do is multiply 4 times 1 tenth. And that will give me 4 tenths. So now I'm going to add it up all together. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1, plus 4 tenths equals, you got it, 21 and 4 tenths. Okay. Now, this looks like you might have to do a lot of work, but for the second one, for the decimal notation, you are going to keep everything the same except the last part. The only difference is you need to multiply that by the decimal. So I'll go ahead and run through that. So again, I have 21.4. So I'm going to start with the 2 times 10 to get my 20. I find multiplying by tens and ones to be the simplest. So then I have 1 times 1 plus 4 times, anybody have a guess? You got it, 0.1. Now again, I have 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1, plus 0.4, or 4 tenths. So what does that give me? 21.4. So you're going to go ahead and do that for the rest of them. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because that, my friends, is what we're here for. Okay, good luck, and I will see you soon.